Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 happy hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It is Monday. Fat Man's coming really, really quick. All of a sudden, man, next thing you know, it's going to be Christmas Eve. Fat Man come down the chimney. We're going to be celebrating, but we're not going to really celebrate the first round of the college football playoffs. That was a absolute bleeping disaster. Disaster. I mean, none of those games were close. None of those games were competitive. After seeing 3 blowouts, I just knew Tennessee was going to give them a fight. That did not happen. Not even come close. I mean, the closest game was Indiana and Notre Dame. And it was 27-3 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. And they scored 2 touchdowns late, 14 BS points after they scored, prevent defense, and then they got an onside kick. It was a beat down. It was ugly. Not only was that just a beat down, Indiana and Notre Dame, but holy moly. Penn State went out there and made Kevin Jennings look like he was a chicken running around with no head. They batted balls down, tipped balls, picked them off. That SMU offensive line, especially that left tackle, there became a point where I was feeling sorry for my man. That was a whipping. 28-0 at halftime. 2 pick six. Jennings only he threw 36 passes, completed 20 of them only for 195 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Penn State ran for $190. It was a very, very sad display. Then you get to Texas and Clemson. Clemson came out and scored first, and then basically 21 unanswered by Texas, 21-7, and then 28-10 going into the halftime. They got a little field goal, but it wasn't ever a competitive football game. In the fourth quarter, Clemson made it. You thought maybe. When they cut it 31-24, and then Texas just went right down this field. 77-yard run by Jaden Blue. Man, it was ugly. And then the worst, and the one that 3 games were all blowouts. But there was an 8-9 matchup. The mighty SEC, Tennessee, baby. I was there.
John, the build-up to that game was fantastic. I mean, Tennessee running onto the field, shirtless, trying to say, we can play in the cold. Fantastic.
Not only that, I'm not joking with you. That was Vols North on one side of the field.
Oh, man, it looked great.
Vols fans
I had buddies up there. They were sending me
and
pictures of it. It was crazy.
I have to give the Vols fans mad respect.
Might have been a little too cold, though. I don't know.
No, it wasn't all that bad, bro. I don't know if you know this. You just get a little Tito's in your life.
That's right.
Get a little some mitts and stuff like that, man. You're going to be Gucci.
I don't think Nico was drinking any Tito's, though.
Actually, I really wasn't drinking Tito's, even though that's my favorite spirit around because, beggars can't be choosers. My homie brought in a little bottle of Tennessee whiskey, some Jack Daniels, because, of course, he's a big, gigantic Vols fan. And we just, a little sippity-sippity. But I sipped a lot that night and still didn't put down the pain of seeing Tennessee get just beat down. Man, we're so blessed, man. We got Christmas right around the corner. And, man, one of my Christmas wish has been answered because I got Jake Crane up in the house. We're going to talk some college football.
I told him that you were sitting in Ohio State watching that massacre, too. He didn't know.
Oh, yeah, it was ugly. But, man, let me welcome the best in the business, my favorite sports show, period. I love the fact that I can do it on my time. You subscribe to Crane & Company. I love watching it on my television when I get home. I don't need to see the BS, round the horn, first take, or whatever the hell they got on. I watch Crane & Company because that's real sports and it's real dope. What up, Jake?
What is up, y'all? Christmas right around the corner. Yeah, man. Johnny Radio, like, were those tickets really going for like $65?
Man, you know what hurts my feelings more? Because we got them early because we planned on going and partying like rock stars. We paid $240 for ours, but now we did have.
In
seats.
reality, that's still a good price for that.
Oh yeah, $500 for a crummy seat. If that was in Knoxville, that was in one of the SC. Man, people.
Oh yeah, if that was in Knoxville, you'd have had to put blood on the front of your door the night before to get a ticket to the
game. Man, this weekend was something that I expected at least to have one good game. I really thought that Tennessee, I really thought Ohio State, especially having that bad taste of Michigan in you, having Ryan Day under immense pressure. And then all of a sudden, man, Tennessee fans showed up like you wouldn't believe. The electricity in the stadium was getting pumped. Tennessee fans were feeling it. And then, damn, Ohio State punched them right in the throat. 21 points, boom, first quarter. And it was pretty much over. I mean, the second half you were hoping they'd come down and score and cut it to 4. And then Ohio State just punched them back down on the mat. It looked like Mike Tyson beating the brakes off like Michael Spinks.
Man, you can't take your shirt off in pregame warm-ups and come out and play like that.
No
you just
kidding.
Can't. Like, it was, I mean, very rarely am I, shocked in this sport anymore just because I, did it, coached it, been around it. I was legitimately shocked. Not that Ohio State won. If you go up and you play a close game, stuff happens, man. You're on the road. It's a tough environment. Ohio State's got a really good roster. But, I mean, Tennessee just got their pants pulled down in the middle of the Kroger and spanked in front of everybody. Like, it was just, that's what it felt like. And, I didn't expect Tennessee's offense to go up there and look like the Globetrotters. But I was really let down just by defensively, them getting pushed around. I mean, after they got that face mask on the first third down,
it was over.
It was just like, oh, no. It almost seemed to me, Johnny Radio, that Tennessee was shocked at how good Ohio State was. Like, you didn't watch all the film. Like, you didn't go through it and realize, hey, they may have lost to Michigan because Chip Kelly had an emotional game plan and they tried to bully Michigan and fell right into the trap. But it just everything was working. They were getting the ball out in space early. Then they were able to attack Tennessee in the middle, and then they would hit them deep. It was the same formula, right? Quick game, inside run, deep throw. And they were killing them with it. In Tennessee, they just got big boyed. You can't say anything. And Will Howard, everybody's talking about how great of a game Will Howard did, and I thought he did play well. But he had guys running wide open.
That's
heck,
thing.
I can throw the crossing route to Jeremiah Smith when nobody's covering them. And I know that Tennessee, look, they played man coverage all year. This is who they are. You don't go and change your stripes. But good Lord, guys, at some point you got to adjust. If nobody's eating the blueberry ice cream, try and go get some chocolate ice cream or something. It was a total letdown. And if you're I feel bad for the Tennessee fans. I really do. Because if Tennessee would have played half as much as their fans showed up, that game would have probably gone at least into overtime.
It was crazy. It was a Tennessee takeover. I was thoroughly impressed with the fan base in Knoxville. Of course, I was up there cheering on the Vols. Half my family went to UT, so up there supporting, and I was thinking it was going to be a great game. And the thing that surprised me is you mentioned the defense. I really thought that, defense and running the football was going to be able to carry Dylan Sampson going down, not saying that anything would have been different. But what I'm saying that really was my problem is, of course, Tim Banks, one of the finalists for the Broyles Award, he did not, and like you said, he never adjusted. And you had 3 NFL wide receivers just running around wide open. The defensive front couldn't get to Howard. You have to do something. You just can't keep bringing – I don't know, man. I just thought, they say insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. and again, I know that's their stripes, but you have to adjust, and he just didn't.
Yeah.
I was disappointed more so than even Josh Heupel. I was more disappointed than Tim Banks.
Well, and look, you never judge a coach based just off one game. I mean, Tim Banks has been great all year, but to me, Johnny Radio is one of those things. And look, you've got to have some ego, at least some, to be successful at a high level in this sport, and really in any big time industry, where there's a lot of pressure. But at some point, you've got to put your ego aside and say, hey, what we're doing or what we have done is not working. And I'm not saying they didn't make any adjustments. They made some. They just didn't make enough, and I don't think they took enough chances. Like at some point, you may have to say, guys, we may not, we may be able to line up and play man coverage against a lot of teams and let our defensive front go eat. And even with Ohio State's talented wide receivers, if that D-line and front seven was getting after Will Howard, you could negate some of that stuff, but they weren't. So you really only got a couple choices. Either you start heating him up and bringing more than they can block, or make them adjust and go max pro and something like that to reduce the amount of wide receivers out there, or you keep rushing four, right? Or you do some fire zone stuff and you play zone coverage behind it. They didn't really do that. It was, well, this is what's worked. We're just going to keep doing it even if it's not working. And in a sudden death elimination game, I don't know why. And look, again, I didn't think, because Ohio State's really good on defense too now. Make no mistake. They got NFL players running all over that field, and not having Dylan Sampson did hurt, but Dylan Sampson wouldn't have saved them.
No.
He wouldn't have saved them the way that game was going.
Because Tim Banks wasn't stopping anybody. That offense was
No, they
humming.
dropped a 21-piece on you with Cajun fries and a honey biscuit in the first quarter.
Now, I got to also bring up a couple of things that I thought were fascinating over the weekend. After the first three games, the way they went, I saw Lane Kiffin was on the Twitter talking about how riveting. This was riveting committee, kind of went at the committee. My question, though, is, of course, he's mentioning that Ole Miss should have gotten over Indiana and SMU and things of this nature. But after seeing Tennessee just get their brains beat in, like, how does it, like, are you kind of swaying back and forth? Because right now, you look at the SEC teams that are left, Georgia has a serious issue at quarterback because I'm not sure Gunner can get it done. And then Texas, as well as they played against the lowly, weak, little bitty, sad Clemson team. I mean, it was a close game, but the ACC is just not. The ACC is just not it. Neither is the Big 12. Still think it's going to be a massacre in the next round, two of them. But like, how do you feel about right now the SEC getting a crown this year with those two teams left?
Well, I mean, you had one of your teams eliminated. I think I picked Texas to win it, not because I think they're the best team in the country. I really like their path, to getting there. Here's what I'll say. I try and be consistent, right? I try and be realistic and consistent. I think multiple things can be true at once. The SEC in aggregate over the last 20 years has been the most dominant conference. It's been the best conference more times than not, and most times. I think everybody can agree with that. Now, that doesn't mean that every single year the SEC is going to have the best team. That doesn't mean that every year the SEC is going to be so much more dominant than every other conference that we should just play an SEC and Big Ten title game every year and just wipe it up to that. But I'm going to keep that same energy with sitting here watching Indiana, who played Notre Dame closer than Tennessee played Ohio State, and then SMU, who in reality played about just as bad as what Tennessee did. So you had two clashing narratives happen in the same day. Mm-hmm. The first two games, you had the narrative of, see, we told you, SMU and Indiana sucked. They should have never been in. It should have been Ole Miss, South Carolina, or Bama. And then that last game, you had an SEC team get throttled worse than any of them, which totally combats that narrative, which leads you back to a net neutral, which is what I said. Do I think the SEC is the best conference in college football this year? Overall, I do. Do they have the best team in the country? I do not think they do. I think Oregon does. So to me, I believe that the committee had a hard choice to make, and structurally the way we picked the 12 is deficient. It has been deficient. It's going to be impossible to pick a perfect 12, but I think you can get really close if the structure's right, and I've offered solutions. I've offered a structure that I think is a nice mix that combines the most deserving and the best 12 the best way possible. But you can't sit here on one hand and just ignore what happened to Tennessee, right, and say, the SEC should have got three more teams in when Tennessee got drowned in a small puddle of water on national TV.
Does this pump the brakes on the expansion talk after this first weekend? I mean, you got started Friday night, went all the way to Saturday night, about 36 hours of just terrible college football. Does it slow that down and keep it at 12?
I don't think so, because it's not about that. It's about the money that comes in. It's the bottom line. You want to incentivize change, or you want to de-incentivize expanding something. It's got to hit you in the pocket. It's got to hit you, and all the people that are. And look, I agree, it was not a great watch at all this weekend, not even close. But all the people that are complaining about how bad the games were will turn on their TVs that coming up here on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and watch all these games too. And they're going to make a buku amount of money. And to me, I think they're going to take the side of, well, to all these people that are complaining, we're going to go to 16 so we can get these other teams in here, and maybe y'all won't complain. But we all know, we see this in college basketball, they let 340 teams in the you're always going to have teams complaining. So to me, I think it's about the money. It'll always be about the money, and because it's about the money, they'll expand it.
And everybody still wants more money, man. All right, now this is very, very after watching the opening round, Indiana, Kurt Signetti, kind of like, he was very cocky and arrogant. I thought it was funny. Nick Saban was like, I did teach him, but I didn't teach him to be that cocky or whatever he said, something to those words. Indiana went in there, and I did think this was going to be a competitive football game. And it wasn't. I mean, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds, it's 27-3. They got 2 cosmetic touchdowns after, scoring, prevent defense, and then got an onside kick, and they score real late. The game was a beatdown. How impressed were you with Notre Dame?
Well, look, a lot of people are talking about how Indiana didn't belong, and I can understand that argument. They didn't really beat anybody. You can have a logical explanation for why you don't think they should be in, but that doesn't mean you take away credit from Notre Dame for handling their business. And that's what they did. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't sexy, but it didn't have to be. We talked all week on Crane & Company about how this game is going to be, a boring style of game. And I don't mean boring as in it's not really, kind of fun to watch, or it's not going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be very methodical. You're not going to have a ton of explosive plays. You had a couple. You had the 98-yard touchdown run when Indiana got a little slogged up in the front 7 and the safety got caught peeking on the backside.
Jeremiah Love took off, didn't he?
Yeah, no, Jeremiah Love, he's NFL back. But, it wasn't super sexy, but Notre Dame handled their business. And, look, I think Notre Dame's going to beat Georgia. Like, we can say what you want. I think they're going to beat them. So, look, we can sit here and talk about Indiana and point and laugh and do all this. Yeah, is Kurt Signetti kind of like the guy at the party who, when he gets drunk, tells everybody he can freestyle and rap, and then when he does it, it's terrible? Kind of, a little bit. But you still won 11 games at Indiana. That's pretty impressive, dog.
Dude, I think he's an impressive coach. I just thought it was actually interesting because, different styles make different fights. I like the fact that you got so many different people.
Well, he's trying to turn Indiana into a big dog. And the way he's going about it is, if we're going to turn into a big dog, we got to talk like a big dog. We got to walk like a big dog. He's trying to infuse swag in there. And some people will say, oh, well, the big dogs don't talk that much. Well, yeah, Georgia then really don't have to talk that much because they're Georgia. They're not having to work up to being one of the elite and be viewed in a different prism, but it always looks bad when it kind of backfires and you don't play well.
One other thing, when you talked about, next week's matchup, Notre Dame, Riley Leonard threw the ball a lot better. The balance that Notre Dame had, 32 passes, 35 runs, they threw it for 201 yards, ran it for 193. The balance was just straight up impressive. I think the thing that kind of gives me also a little bit of concern is not just Gunnar Stockton over at Georgia. It's just Georgia really hadn't faced a dual threat rushing attack with a quarterback like Riley Leonard. My man can run like a madman. And with those NFL back, that offensive line, Jeremiah Love, NFL back, I think Georgia is going to have a hell of a tough time this week.
Well, Johnny Radio, to all the Georgia fans that are saying, oh, well, Gunnar Stockton's a better quarterback than Carson Beck, we're actually going to be better. Gunnar Stockton may end up coming in and balling. He may. We don't know. But if you believe that, you also have to believe 2 other things. One is that Kirby Smart is stupid. He's so stupid that he played the wrong quarterback going on 2 years. 2 years of apparently playing the wrong guy. Kirby Smart, one of the best coaches in college football. And the second thing is that you don't believe in sample size. Because we just don't know, man. I watched Gunnar Stockton do some good things. I also watched him almost throw a devastating interception at the end of the game and then get knocked into the bookcase on Interstellar running into the goal line one time. So we just don't know yet. But to say that Gunnar Stockton is better than Carson Beck is saying that you don't think Kirby Smart knows what he's doing. And I promise you, he does. Now, as far as the way the game is going to go, you bring up Riley Leonard and, his running ability, and has Georgia really seen that? The thing that makes Riley Leonard and this team dangerous is because he's able to escape things. He can make up for something going wrong. Quinn Ewers at Texas can't. If Quinn Ewers isn't protected, he's going down like a sweet muffin.
Yep.
So Riley Leonard's one of those guys that maybe it's 3rd and 7 and somebody whips on a block. He makes the guy miss, takes off, gets the first down. So I think Notre Dame matches up physically pretty well with Georgia because this isn't the most elite Georgia team we've seen in the past 3 years, but Riley Leonard can improvise. And if you want to beat a team like Georgia, you need a quarterback that can somewhat improvise.
Penn State, man, now SMU just looks so overmatched. I mean, my goodness. I've never thought Kevin Jennings, I watched this kid throw all over the yard. I watched this kid do everything. Penn State was batting down every ball, getting to him, hitting him. Wide receivers couldn't get open, 2 pick sixes. My man was out there, and he was seeing ghost.
Well, you ran up against a team you couldn't run around. That's the difference. I mean, Kevin Jennings, most of this year, because look, and again, he had one really bad game. It was in a bad moment. But Kevin Jennings did so much good for SMU.
Absolutely.
Like he's one of the reasons, and one of the reasons he was able to do well, because when the play did break down and he's running around and doing all these things, he was making great plays or just okay plays. He wasn't making catastrophic plays. He wasn't turning the ball over. Well, you ran against a team that you couldn't run around, and it made him have to throw the ball in those instances, not just take off, and he made bad decisions. I don't mind on that 4th down him not running for that first down because you got a guy wide open for a touchdown. But if you're going to make that decision in this game, you got to make that throw, brother. You got to make that throw. You got to make that play because if he does, SMU goes up 7-0, and Drew Aller looked shook throwing the ball. He looked shook the whole game.
The whole game.
So, yeah, so it wasn't. Their Penn State's best offense was their defense for a quarter and a half. So it wasn't like Penn State was just smushing SMU all around and they had no chance. SMU, most teams lose games, they don't win them. And Kevin Jennings picked a bad day to have a bad day, man.
Man, he did pick a bad day, but the defense was just, I was so impressed. I'm wondering, what kind of chance do you think Boise State has? The boys out in Vegas in the desert got this line set at 10.5.
Man, I think they're in trouble. I think they're in trouble because Penn State can shut down Genty. They can shut him down. And I like Maddox. I think he does some good things, but I don't think he is capable of – because Boise State's defense is the bigger question to me. That's when we're really going to find out. Can you stop the run? Can you stop this run against this team? I don't think Drew Aller's going to have to go out there and throw for 300 yards for him to win this game. But if Ashton Jenney isn't able to get off, and believe me, Tom Allen's going to have a plan. He's going to have a plan, and Penn State is way more physical than Boise State. I just don't see it, Johnny Radio. I think it may look a lot like the SMU game.
I think you're probably right now. But Drew, he can't. I don't think Penn State can win it as great as their defense and run game is because you got a quarterback who just in the big moments he seems to let you down. And if SMU would have gotten a few points on there, I feel like that kid would have crumbled. Now Texas, oh my goodness, Jake, I'm sorry I kept you so long. Texas is.
Oh, you're good, man. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm on the Christmas tree.
Oh, I dig that. Texas is playing Arizona State. Texas's offensive line is just dominant. They got weapons at the wide receiver. They can run the damn ball down your throat. Quinn Ewers, though, has been a little shaky. You give him a clean pocket, it's easy pickings for him. You get him around his feet, he starts freaking out, and he goes down. Does Texas mollywop the Fighting Kenny Dillinghams, or could Arizona State somehow make this a game?
Well, I think this is kind of similar to the Penn State Boise game. Texas just goes about it a different way offensively because their quarterback, Aller's not exactly Usain Bolt, but he's got that weird, goofy Jameis run that works. It's hard to tackle something that's big and goofy. Kind of like the guy at the Y in basketball with high socks and a headband that you laugh at, and then all of a sudden he drops 8 points in a 12-point game, and y'all got skunked. So when I look at this, is the worst stylistic matchup Arizona State could pull Because I mean, I think the best part of Texas's team is the front seven on defense. So when you look at can Scatabo get off, can Levitt get off, I think they're going to have trouble. I don't think Scatabo is going to be able to just run over Texas guys like he's done. You know, not that he won't have some of those angry runs. He will, but consistently being able to do it. But I'll go back to what I said about Boise. I'm more worried about Arizona State on defense. Like, I don't think they can get to Quinn. And if you can't get to Quinn, he's an assassin, right? And then you give Sark time to let those plays develop that he draws up down the field. I like Texas. I just don't think that at the end of the day, man, Arizona State's going to be able to do the type things that they did to get them here against this defense.
Oregon, number 1 overall seed. You're welcome. Bring in probably the second most talented roster in football, Rose Bowl. Ohio State, 2.5-point favorite as the line opened up over the Ducks. After seeing the way they beat down Tennessee, thoroughly impressed. Who do you like?
Man, I still like Oregon. The odds of Ohio State playing their best game twice in a row, I don't think is very high. You know, one thing is that, you know, this layoff for Oregon, I'm interested to see how it affects them early. But the thing that makes Oregon dangerous, and I don't think they're elite on defense, but offensively, they have answers when things aren't working. Will Stein is one of the best in the country at the quick passing game. He can get his guys the ball quick and in space. It would basically long handoffs to Tez and some of the other guys they have at the slot. But don't forget, the first time that Oregon played Ohio State, the thing that absolutely gutted Ohio State was Evan Stewart vertically. So that opened up everything underneath, including the run game, because he was just cooking them on the 9 route, on the post, post wheels, things like that. So if you're Ohio State, can you play with Caleb Downs this close to the line of scrimmage like you did against Tennessee, against Oregon? I don't think you can, and when you do that, it lightens up that box. It creates run lanes, not only for the running back, for the quarterback to take off in the passing game as well. So I think it's going to be a barn burner. Could these be the two best teams in the country? Yeah, they could. But at the end of the day, I like Oregon because they have so many answers for when things don't work.
I like that as well. I mean, the Ducks, Dylan Gabriel, like you said, he's just an absolute assassin, and they can score on anybody. They proved it all season. Yeah. And I like Dan Lanning. I like him more than Ryan Day. That's for damn sure. I mean, I've never seen anybody have a play like get the 12-man on the field, and then like this happens on Saturday, and on Monday they come in there and change the rules.
Yeah, he outsmarted everybody that's ever been involved in college football. That's what he did. But, I don't even think that's his greatest strength, though. I mean, he's really good schematically, but I think he's really genuine, and he knows how to get his players prepared, not get too high, but be pumped up enough. Not that you got to, infuse enthusiasm into a game like this, but I think he does a good job of not letting them get too high either, which is a big deal.
He is Jake Crane from Crane & Company. If you're not watching it, I don't know what you're doing. Have a very Merry Christmas. I really appreciate all that you do for my show as well, joining me every Monday. When y'all going to be back? What y'all doing? How's life?
Oh, man, well, the live stream we did with Indiana and Notre Dame went absolutely bonkers. It was incredible, the amount of people that watched. So thanks to everybody out there who did that. We're not going live.
The football game.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, look, we have a really good time. Those are a lot of fun. But when you look at what we're doing this week, we're not going to go live, but we got a bunch of previews that we pre-recorded. Got some guests that we pre-recorded with as well. So check us out at Crane & Company, 2 p.m. Central. Come hang out with us.
Man, Jake, be blessed and have a very Merry Christmas, my friend.
You too, brother. Y'all be good.
That is Jake Crane from Crane & Company. I'm late for a break, man. I just took up an extra 10 minutes of his time. Appreciate that. But damn, man, there's a lot of college football I had to talk about. Still got more on my chest. By the way, at 12 o'clock, there's a gentleman who called in earlier. If you're still listening, you wanted to talk about Josh Heupel. If you want to talk a little bit about Tennessee and the college football playoff, I'll take some calls. And I got a couple 4-packs of Liberty Bowl tickets to give away. And that's not, I got 2 4-packs. That we should do 4-packs, right? Like it's a family-friendly affair.
You're in the giving mood.
Man, I'm
holiday
ready.
Cheer.
I'm ready to give.
Johnny Claus.
Better to give than receive.
Sometimes.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
With you, baby.
Depending on what you're talking about. Sometimes. Y'all don't dare, don't y'all dare touch that dial. We got Terry Davis. We got to talk about that Tiger game. Ouch. Ouch. Mississippi State mollywopped them. That's next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. Did you know there are so many roofing companies in Memphis that I don't even know them all? So that begs the question, which one should you choose? So I thought I'd give you a little background about me. My grandfather was a World War II Marine. My father worked for the University of Memphis for nearly 30 years. My mother, a pianist at Raleigh Baptist Church. Seems like forever. I went to Brownsville Road, Craigmont, and Bartlett High School, class of 81. We support the local school systems, youth athletics, and believe in what St. Jude and Le Bonheur stand for. I'm a Tiger and Grizz fan. The point? Memphis is my home. Five-Ash Roofing will be around if you ever have a problem with the service we provide. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical, with deep local ties in our community. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
I'm partnering with PayPal. The big day's almost here, and I'm using my PayPal debit card to make my holiday shopping even sweeter. Each month, all I do, I pick a new category like groceries, gas, restaurants, or just for this holiday season, tech, and I earn 5% cash back on up to $1,000 of monthly purchases. Sign up right now for the card. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Terms and limits apply. See paypal.com/rewardspal. The PayPal debit MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to a license by MasterCard International Incorporated and may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted.
So you're sitting there at your desk feeling trapped in your house, working from home, and you can't stop thinking about breakfast. Do you have anything to eat in the house? More importantly, it's not like anyone is watching you. Who's going to know if you sneak off to Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East on Poplar and grab a quick bite to eat? You don't even have to eat in at Sunrise. Both locations will gladly prepare you a great meal to go. Your desk at home is going to feel a lot better when you're tucking into breakfast, or lunch for that matter, from Sunrise.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bars.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, man. Big college football talk in the first segment, talking with my buddy Jake Crane from Crane & Company. They got all the previews up. You're going to love that. Go get y'all preview on Crane & Company. Now, we're going to talk a little bit of Tiger basketball, and usually, I don't know if you know this, especially this year, other than the Arkansas State game, I've been so high on this team, and guess what? I'm still very high on this team. You know, you have a bad day sometimes. I've had them. Have a lot of them, it seems like sometimes. Coming here, sound people know, man, that boy sounds sick as a dog.
I don't think they think they judge.
Probably, and I'm talking crazy. Hey, what was I talking about? You know, everybody has a bad day. Tigers really did have a bad day, but we're lucky to talk with Terry Davis. Maybe he can give us a little Care Bear stare to make us feel better about our Tiger situations. What's up, TD?
What is up?
The sky?
And you?
That's for damn show. It's the holiday season. Actually, you know what? It was the day and why. Terry, honestly, give me a little bit of assessment before we jump into, some ridiculous inner talk. But right now, just what was your overall thought of the Tigers' performance Saturday down at the Forum against Mississippi State? Ooh.
I think they came out flat, man, and for some reason, it's just, I think it's coincidence. This is the second time they had getaway trips, because they've been off for the holidays. And I think they just had one foot out the door, man.
I get that. I totally get that. I'm like, I'm here today. Kinda. I'm ready for Christmas to start. I'm ready to like see the family, have a little bit of fun. I totally get it, but man, that was just something I wasn't expecting. Mississippi State on a defense that's been so damn good all season. They dropped 79, but it was 48 points they scored in that first half. That was, shots don't fall, things of that nature. You can see it, but usually the defense carries this Penny Hardaway team.
Yeah, usually they do that, and I think if they ever could have got it under 10, I think they would have made that run. But, because Mississippi State played so well in the first half, they connected on 9 3-pointers, and that just gave them the confidence. But Memphis actually outplayed them in the second half, but they just had too big of a hole to overcome in the first half.
Yeah, they really didn't have it. And by the way, even offensively, we only had 2 guys who could really find the hole, and that was Haggerty and Hunter.
Correct.
My man Colby Rogers, the last 2 games, I believe he's only hit 1 3-pointer.
Right.
And he was 0 for 4 Saturday. He only hit 1 when they played Clemson, and he jacked up a bunch. It's just kind of wild right now. Like 40% career shooter. His stroke's just a little bit off right now. Hell, did he even make a field goal Saturday? Did he score?
Yeah, he did score eventually, but it's just it's like it's like the old Alabama team, man. If they hit their threes, they're the best team in the nation. When they're not hitting their threes, they're just an average team.
That is the truth. Now, right now, after watching like the Mississippi State game, you got any concerns? You got things that you feel good about? Do we just put that in the rearview mirror and start looking forward to Ole Miss?
I look forward to Ole Miss because you got to look at this. They're going to have 3 whole days because they're out of town right now. Traveling with family. They'll come back on Christmas on Wednesday. Then they have Thursday and Friday, and they get ready for Saturday. And one thing about it, when we do 11:30 a.m. tip, I don't know why we tipped it early.
Yeah, I guess because United. I don't know. It doesn't matter, man. I don't
you know why? ESPN.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, man, never mind. Like, never mind. Well, Tigers right now 9-3 on the season. What do you think the rankings are going to be when they come out?
Knowing them, Mississippi State go in the rankings, then they'll go back out the rankings. They'll still be in the top 30. But one thing about it, when they play Ole Miss this weekend, there'll still be a top 25 matchup. So they'll still get all the national attention.
That Ole Miss team, Mississippi State's good. Ole Miss this year, though, man, 9-1 on the season. They're looking extremely good as well. This is the last impressive team that they could beat realistically on their schedule because the American is pathetic.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to take advantage of your opportunities. One good thing about the American being down is you can probably jump on top of those guys, and you don't have to play everybody 23, 33 minutes a game. You can get your starters some rest. That's one of the good things about it. But one thing you have to do is you just got to go out there and take care of business. If you go 16-2 or maybe 17-1, you can still get a top 5 seed, and that's the bottom line. That's the only thing that really matters.
Now, speaking of like this Memphis team, I've been talking about it all year. Like they're one of my favorite teams. Period. I like the way they play together. Their defense, Haggerty, Hunter, Rogers, Musa and Danger down low doing their thing. Musa blocks shots. He's still handsy and can't really score. But Danger is nasty after, he fouls out. And when he comes in kind of, healthy and, he's actually not playing 40 minutes like PJ and Hunter. I love everything about this team, but do they have to find somebody? Because, man, talk about, this is the razor's edge. They are one injury away from everything crumbling. Pull one card. That was that game, Jenga or something? You, pull the wrong block and everything comes falling down.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the beast, man. Because with the NIL and transfer portal, and as much as these guys get paid, and Memphis not being on that level of an Ohio State or SEC team, they just don't have the financial wherewithal to go and get that many quality starters. And you look at last year's team, you had all those stars on the team, but they couldn't play together. So it's a weird situation in college basketball, man. You got a really good team, but you just don't have depth. Unlike that team, that plays at Expo on a regular basis, they got a lot of depth and they got a lot of money. They can go over the cap, but Memphis can't go over the cap.
No, they definitely can't. But right now, big game looking. Everybody's over the holidays. I mean, 9-3 against the competition, you still have to feel damn good. I mean, if you didn't have that quad three.
Year,
by the way, Memphis doesn't Memphis
yeah,
still have they have 7 quad 1 and 2 wins, and I believe that's still the most in the country.
Yeah, it is. It is. And what makes so bad about it? They have all those quad 1 and quad 2 wins, and they still don't get the respect across the nation. Everybody said they like them, but when it comes to the polls and to the rankings, the net, and to all these other stuff, they're still in the mid-30s, which is incredible considering how many wins they have.
It is. It really is. Now, looking forward to, I still think this team, again, health, barring any injury, this team is going to fight throughout the stretch. I don't see any type of collapse like we saw last year. So I do feel great about that. And again, like they should win this American, I think easily.
Yes, they should. Like I said, barring any injury, they should go at worst case scenario 16-2. Worst case, I don't think because this conference is more competitive than people give them credit for, and I don't see them going 18-0. Yeah, but if they can go 16-2, I think that'd be great.
Grizzlies, man, dude.
Man, even without Ja Morant.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying? Well, how you feeling right now about the Grizzlies, man? Right before Christmas last year was a disaster. This year, they're putting people on notice.
2 years ago when the Grizzlies was rolling to the second in the West.
Yep.
And people used to say, "Oh man, they're good and they're great," but some of the national media say, "Oh no, they're not right. They're immature. They're childish. They do dumb stuff." Now you're not hearing that this time around. This time around, they're not talking. They're not saying anything. They're not saying how good they are. They're just going and just beating the brakes off people.
You know who scores the most points in the West?
Memphis,
man. That.
Right.
That's unbelievable. 123,
and not only that,
123 points a game.
They won the top 5 defensive teams too.
Man, it's right now, and plus, only team that has a better point differential on average is actually Oklahoma City, and it's just by 1.5 points. They're 11.7 best in the West. Grizzlies 10.2 second best. If you look at all the metrics, if you look at also the rookie ratings, and you see what Wells and then Zach Edey, and just it's also crazy on that aspect that they seem to pick up the right people. I mean, this is right now feeling like they're coming together. Remember, when we had Gasol and Zebo and Conley and things started just kind of coming together in that season, you kind of started feeling it. And, man, I'm starting to feel it with this team this year. Because we still got Vince coming back. We still got Gigi coming back. I mean, they got depth coming out the wazoo.
And what makes it so bad, what makes it so good about it, that even though the guys are injured, and they still got more to give, and once everybody comes back, you're not going to have to worry about the team with Memphis last year. Where's my playing time? How am I going to get my shots off? The only thing these guys care about is winning, and they truly believe that. They truly believe that. No one's looking for their contract because Aldama is on a contract year. Jaren Jackson on a contract year, but yet these guys are not being selfish, and they're still putting up numbers within the system.
Yep, and by the way, how's Ja?
Ja be okay. He may play tonight, depending on his back. He didn't make the trip to Atlanta because of the one-day trip.
And they still beat. I mean, they destroyed Atlanta the other day too.
Yeah, without Ja. And
Atlanta went on a crazy fourth quarter run, and I still think they lost by 15. I can't remember what the final was, but they were whipping that butt. First quarter, they dropped 43 points. I know that.
Yes, 43 points. They could, if they really wanted to, they probably could have scored 100 in the first half. That's how good they were playing, man. They were playing great in the first half. It just made Atlanta look really, really bad.
I mean, they've run out the Warriors, made Draymond go 0-0-0, 4 turnovers. You saw what
Golden State did the next day, right?
What in
they went to Minnesota and beat them.
Oh man, sorry about that. I don't know what. I think I pushed the button and it started like.
That's what you did, man. That's what you do. You push
Dude, don't
buttons.
push buttons, John. Just keep your hands to yourself.
That what the judge said.
But no, like realistically, what they did to the Warriors, what they did to the Hawks without Ja, like the way they, after he losing 2 games to the net, punched them in the face. They beat the Wizards so bad it wasn't even funny. Like they're not just right now winning games; they are embarrassing teams.
After the 2-game home game they got this week, they play Oklahoma City tonight, and they play Toronto on Thursday. They got a 5-game stretch, and then with that 5-game stretch, in that stretch it's going to be Oklahoma City, and that game, if it doesn't get moved to national TV, something's wrong because that's going to be the first matchup they play one another this year.
Sunday, December 29th, on the road in Oklahoma City. Before that, that was it. Man, they have a hell of a long road trip, by the way, starting on the 27th.
5 games.
Man, it goes from December 27th all the way to January 4th, 5 straight games, bing, bang, boom. Golden State, Sacramento, Phoenix, Oklahoma City, New Orleans. Oh, and that was all in reverse order, by the way.
Yep. I'm thinking about making that Sacramento Golden State because that's back-to-back Friday, sir.
Man, that would be good. And you love going out to the left coast anyway.
Yeah.
I know you, buddy. I know you. I'm stupid. I went to Columbus, Ohio, and watched a beatdown this weekend.
You did go to Columbus?
Yeah, I did. It was terrible, man. I mean, we had so much fun, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Pre-game, getting ready for the game, the excitement was in the air. Vols fans showed out. Tennessee, Jack Daniels whiskey, run up around. Everybody's going down.
And then they kicked the ball off.
And then Ohio State beat the hell out of him like it was Mike Tyson and his. Like, remember, was it Mike Tyson? I think first 18 fights, 16 KOs, 2 technical knockouts. Like, dude, it was like that.
Now, Johnny, I got I know a lot of people looking at the results and said, "Oh, none of those teams should have been in there." But you cannot look at the results and nullify what they did in the regular season. Both Indiana and Tennessee should have been in the playoffs, regardless of what anybody says.
No, the thing for me that like my takeaway is that let's be real. Every year there's about 4 to 6 teams on a regular that realistically have the talent to win a national title. When you see Goliath, you see it year in and year out. Remember when Cincinnati, that great little story, undefeated, man, they got into that college football playoff and they realized they aren't playing with the big boys. SMU's offensive line broke my little heart. That left tackle was getting abused so bad. Kevin Jennings was running around. This dude has been awesome all year. And the defense just it was suffocating. The defensive front, the offensive lines. That's the difference in the real big boys. You can have some good wide receivers. You can have good running backs. You can have a great little quarterback. But damn, you need a big, realistic, mammoth offensive line. And that's the difference in what the big boys have and just the little guys don't.
Especially when you're playing in the cold weather. Because when the cold weather kicks in, that line of scrimmage really determines the ball game. Now, if they had played that game right there in Miami, it might have been a different result. Because their speed and that heat goes together a little bit better.
Well, I will say, Ohio State's wide receivers, Lord have mercy. Ohio State's
but they got
wide
Oregon.
receivers.
They got Oregon again this weekend, and I think
we
it's
are
over.
going to see a shootout. I mean, you got Dylan Gabriel and them boys on one side. You got 3 NFL wide receivers on the other side. Don't forget Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, 2 NFL backs. Don't know if I really still trust Will Howard, but damn, like Tennessee, like the wide receivers were just running wide the bleep open, man. I was like, oh my God, Tim Banks has got to make a change. Didn't change. Ohio State looked good.
Yep. It's going to be fun, though. That's going to be fun. Oregon playing against them. Matter of fact, I love the games this weekend, man. I think Penn State are going to walk away with Boise. I think
think they were too.
I think Arizona State's going to give them a little hustle, but I still think Texas is going to take them down. But it's going to be fun. But those 4 games, all 4 of those games should be more competitive this week than they were last week.
Well, I'll tell you the things that I'm worried about. One, Boise State has a chance if Drew Allar doesn't get rid of the yips. That was the worst display of throwing a football by a major quarterback I have seen in my life.
Yeah, Penn State does have a great quarterback.
Now, their defense is legit. Their running game is legit. And they got that little tight end, but you got to have somebody get them the damn ball. So Boise State, that one I could see maybe, them keeping in it. The line right now is 10.5. I don't know how Arizona State's defense stops Texas. That's what I'm worried about.
Arizona State offense is pretty good.
But Scatterboo runs the ball. Texas might have one of the best defensive fronts in football. That's going to be taken away. I'm worried about Sam Leavitt having any time because, again, when you look at the offensive line and the defensive line comparison, and you look basically, I looked at the top, what was it? I think 50 NFL prospects and offense and defensive lines. Texas has got tons of people. Arizona State had none.
Okay. But when it comes to football games, like I said about those 5 stars, once you hit the field, those stars don't mean a thing. It's all about how you perform that day.
Yeah, but I saw some stars whip some ass this week.
Wait a minute! Don't get it twisted. Tennessee got a lot of 5 stars on their team too. So don't get it twisted.
That is true, man. But man, Ohio State pulled out. Man, they pulled their pants down and spanked them. And the thing that I really did feel bad for, and even though I was one of them, like the fans showed up in Columbus. I talked to a couple of them. They said they've never in their life ever seen that many fans from another team show up and show out the way the Tennessee fans did, like ever.
Right.
They only sell like 3,500 seats. There was 35,000 Vols fans up in that joint.
Exactly, because you know what happened. We all know what happened.
Oh, no, I don't. What do I know?
Somebody stole the code. You know that.
Oh yeah. I know all about that. That was awesome. Yeah,
that was cool. And and that's another thing too. I think for a playoff game, the home team should not. I think it should be 50-50 for the first 3 days.
I do too.
And if you got the road team, don't sell it out and go from there. But you should not be allowed to have that dominant of a home team because it's the playoff. It's not a regular season game because that money is not going it's going to the fund.
Yeah.
It's not going to the school.
It is. Hey, last question for you, man. Does Notre Dame beat Georgia this week? Or what is it? January 1st? This week.
You know what? If Carson Beck hadn't been hurt, I would have said there's not a snowball's chance in hell. But with that quarterback in there,
Gunnar Stockton,
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. He played a little. He played well against Texas for the first drive, but after that he kind of broke down. But Kirby had 2 weeks to get him ready, man. So it's one of those I don't know.
Well, I do know. I hope you have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I'm sure you will. I know how you do things. Have a lot of fun. Are you going to be down there watching Little Grizzlies tonight?
I'll be in the house.
Clippers going to get beat down?
It'll be a good one. It'll be a good time to do it because they're another winning team, and everybody's saying Memphis beating up on the Sisters of the Poor. That's why their record's so good, and the Clippers got a winning record. So, at the end of the day, they don't care who you beat as long as you beat them.
Hey, man, Terry Davis, you be blessed. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for your time.
Anytime, my brother. You have a good holiday, too, my brother.
That is my good friend, Terry Davis. Follow him on Twitter at TerryD515. And don't forget to check out his work over at the new Tri-State Defender. I am late for a break. Damn. Sorry, Darian.
Christmas time, man.
It's the holiday seasons.
No Tito's.
You know what? I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't had no Tito's today. I actually am
it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's what you tell us, right?
I'm smoothie. I'm trying to get back like some vitamins and stuff in my body.
I feel you. On your own accord, you tell us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You play it safe. So
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the goal, but the problem is we got Christmas Eve and we got
shame
Christmas
on you.
And, I ain't gonna lie to you, the holiday season. That's why people have dry January and they usually start in the middle. I don't even try to attempt that because there's too much playoff football. When I dry out is after the Super Bowl in the middle of February. Then you get ready for baseball season. Few months clean, get lean, look good for the summer, baby. That's how you got to roll. I got to take a break. We're going to take a timeout, and I'm going to come back if you want. I might open up the phones if you want to call in, talk about the games this weekend. I know somebody called and texted in a lot of Tennessee talk. If you want to talk about Josh Heupel, the Volunteers, whatever the hell, hit me up. 901-360-8255. That's a Sissy Luck. Having text in listener line. We got Hardwood as well. Haven't even talked about the NFL yet. We got a lot still to get to. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Get ready for the wrap-up the year sales event at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike and save huge 2024 Jeep Grand Wagoneer L Series 3, $23,156 off MSRP. 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4XE 4-wheel drive, $12,319 off MSRP. And 2024 Dodge Hornet RT all-wheel drive, $11,637 off MSRP, or buy it for $32,983 plus 0% for 72 months is available. It's the season to drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike, or shop online anytime at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
145,331, MSRP 123,155, Cherokee RC 106,867, MSRP 65,210, Hornet R3 808,452, MSRP 44,620, includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details, dealer stock only.
Elwood Shack in the Lowe's parking lot on Summer just keeps getting bigger and better. Bigger because now there's a second Elwood Shack at 4040 Parker Plus University of Memphis. And better because you can get breakfast every day at both Elwood. There's the barbecue breakfast burrito, either beef brisket or pork shoulder, and pancake biscuits made fresh daily. Real house-made pancakes, apple and bacon, French toast, and more. And the new Elwood Vegan at the Real Coffee Bar, serving fresh roasted J. Brooks coffee. Elwood Shack, now in 2 locations and open every day for you. Experience movies on the giant MXT screen featuring Dolby Atmos at the Malco Collierville Cinema Grill and Powerhouse Cinema Grill. Reserve your Malco Extreme theater seats today at Malco.com or in the app.
It's the Arkansas Razorbacks and the Texas Tech Red Raiders in this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Plus, Michael O'Connor and the Phoenix Cavaliers.
Briggs Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Briggs Powder Coating specializes in automotive
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis, with Dave Voloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. 'Tis the season, baby. Got Christmas around the corner. Hanukkah starts this year, Christmas night. Everybody's getting festive up in this bad boy. It's going to be a good week. But it was a bad weekend for Tennessee outside of the Grizzlies. Vols. I mean, Tigers got toe up by Mississippi State. That wasn't good for Tennessee. Tennessee. Memphis being part of Tennessee. You know what the Volunteers did? The fan base, they were awesome. The football team was, well, overmatched from the jump. Outcoached. Out-schemed. Secondary was letting wide receivers run around all over the place. And that offensive line that's been taking a little bit of abuse after losing 3 of their starters went out there in that great Tennessee front seven. They just whipped them.
And how about your man Will Howard just letting it rip in that first quarter, man?
I can't.
First
well,
half.
I mean, again, listen, I can throw to dudes who are running wide the bleep open.
That first touchdown, that was
that was a
that
catch.
first one.
That catch.
Okay, come on.
Was off the bleeping charts.
And they were off to the races after that.
Like
man.
that young man pulled that in like you wouldn't believe. I mean, again, but like I said, they got 3 dudes on that team. Their wide receivers will be in the NFL. Like 3.
3 dudes
2
and a
running
Howard.
backs that will be running in the NFL. Will Howard ain't playing in the NFL. Got to be a better thrower of the football. And here's Drew.
Best game of the season for him Saturday?
Think so? I think absolutely. I mean, best game for Ohio State all the way around.
All the way around, yeah.
Like, tell me where they had, like, somebody. Tell me an Ohio State football player that ain't excited to watch that film. Like, all of them. They're like, man, I can't wait to this film session because this is going to be me whipping Tennessee's you know what. But not only did the Titans get worked, the Tigers get worked. Titans, man. Like, I thought it was bad in Columbus.
UT Vols ladies even came in and laid a little smackdown on our Lady Tigers too.
Yeah, but that's hey, you don't we don't count crime against each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Because one's a winner, one's a loser.
Yeah, one has to win. Yeah.
Man, I'm just talking about Tennessee. The Titans gave up 330
crime against each other.
rushing yards. And they threw 3 more interceptions this weekend. By the way, they have the most turnovers in the NFL at 29. They were down 38-7 before like the NFL rally. Prevent defense, trying to eat clock, let them score. We got such a big league. Wah, 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 wah. So, yeah, it was a rough weekend for everybody other than the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies are in action tonight. They play the Clippers. So, hopefully, we can now get back on, like, that winning schedule. Think about it, Tennessee football is over. OV bang. But I will say Tennessee basketball keeps kicking butt, don't they? I still believe in this Tiger basketball team. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Fighting Rick Barnes.
Man, they fighting. Everybody in the SEC right now is beating the hell out of everyone. SEC basketball, I was like, what?
Don't you remember 10 years or so ago when they made the dedication to make basketball better? Do you recall that?
I sure do.
It's coming to fruition now. This is the offspring of that. I don't know if a lot of our listeners remember, but SEC, they said, you know what? We're tired of being sucky in basketball. We're good in football. We're good in baseball. Let's put some resources into basketball. And look what it got them. Look at the coaches it got them.
You look around, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, the quality of coaches were not around the SEC 10, 15 years ago.
But, by the way, I did want to ask y'all, again, I'm giving away 4 tickets right now to the Liberty Bowl. How should I give them away? Text, call.
Oh, make them make you laugh.
Make me laugh.
No, we always like that.
Make me laugh, please. Send me something that's funny. By the way, man, I love our text line at 901-360-8255. Sissy's Log Cabin text in the listener line. Obviously an Ohio State fan. Bring on T-Money next. OHIO. That's a great text, by the way. Raider Corey texted in as well today. Hey, John, when you're playing a ton of minutes, you don't have your legs for jump shots. We aren't deep, and that's obvious. Cisse is a non-factor. This is a 7-man rotation at best. Raider Corey. I agree. So I'm almost really a 6. But let me just tell you something. I still love this team, and that's what I was talking about against the Clemson game. Can they hold on when the way they came out in the second half after digging themselves a hole against Clemson, and to press and to run and to get to the rack and take a beating, like the fact that these kids can go out there, not kids, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, they're still kids. They're getting paid, but they're kids. They can vote, whatever. They can drink. Still young to me. They literally are, they got to be the most in shape group of guys now I know all, basketball players are in shape. But my man, like watching Clemson and you had 10 players play double-digit minutes. You look at some of these rotations, Tennessee. You look and see what Kentucky and the Popes do, and you look over, all around the country, and you got at least 9 dudes. Man, they can go 10 deep on these really good teams with these deep-ass rosters, and that's just something the Tigers cannot do because they got 5 freaking studs. Actually 4 studs. I love Nick Jourdain and what he does, but you can't confuse.
He's your glue guy.
He's your glue guy, but you can't I can't say Nick Jourdain is a star. But I can say that PJ Haggerty, Knock Need Sideshow Bob, is a star.
Yeah, oh yeah. And being there, absolutely. He like I was telling you, someone had to score. So the box score kind of looks tilted in his side. No one could make a shot, Judge. No one with him.
Hunter is a dog. He's a star.
Oh yeah.
Colby Rogers, let's be real. We saw what he did from the corner of the three-point line. We've seen him hit big shot after big shot. Right now, he's missing a few shots just down on a little stretch. Right now, went 0 for 8 Saturday. But, again, this kid's shot is just pure. It'll get right with the quickness. Career 40% three-point shooter. He's a star. And Dane Danger, he doesn't play that many minutes because out of anybody on this team, he's probably the least in shape. They throw Musa, start him in both halves.
But you know what's crazy? He's probably the most talented overall.
I was going to say,
he's probably the most talented.
His touch around the rim is ridiculous. Now, I don't want him pulling out and taking jump shots. No. And when you say talent, I'm not talking about NBA talent. We're talking about what he can do college. He demands the ball. He fights his little butt off. And if he gets the ball on the block, you just better be ready because he's coming to score. And both guys can block. Now, Musa is not giving you what you want, but he's kind of giving you what you need. Of course, I would love him to be able to shoot a free throw or shoot a shot. And I would love that he didn't, every time he got a rebound offensively, go back all the way down and have the ball stolen 90% of the time. These things I would appreciate. But damn it, he does block shots, and he gives Dane Danger enough time.
Yes, to assess the game and get in and come and do something.
To assess the game, watch that, get a feel. But when he comes in with fresh legs, and that's when he's dangerous.
And he's attacking. I love it.
And he does attack. I love that. So they got 4 dudes who are dudes. And then they got Nick Jourdain, a glue guy. And then listen, PJ's cute. By the way, PJ's made some big shots. He's going to be good. He's going to be back. He's young.
Carter, right? You know Carter?
PJ Carter.
Okay, yeah. He
He's
actually
just a young
came in
buck.
and did some good stuff
He
too.
did some. He's every single game. It feels like he's getting better and kind of growing into his role. Amen, because we need him. But after that, who do you trust? Do you trust anybody other than PJ, Musa, Danger? And you don't even trust Musa. You just need him to give Dane Danger enough time to be fresh down the stretch and him to alter shots. I will say, though, a lot of teams, though, get scared to go down low. When Musa's in there, that's a shot blocking fool. Like, he's changed some shots. Did you remember Clemson? Holy moly. They were scared to death. That little guy went down there and put the ball up against the backstop underneath the rim when Musa came by. Remember that shot? Like, Lord. But anyway, like the team. Love the team. Also, it's that time, man. You need to sneak over and give a little something. Maybe you're doing last-minute Christmas shopping. Well, get it done and get over to Los Cabos. Or go to Los Cabos and get a little right before you do your Christmas shopping. Get some food in your belly. The best Mexican food. It's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Los Cabos, summer near Graham. I go there a lot. They have the best bar. I mean, they got the best of both worlds. They got great happy hour 3 to 8. Lunch specials, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. $7 to $11. 10 to 3, 7 to 11. Great food. And again, I love watching sports up there because it's a big bar. Great tequila. Check out Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico will be melting in your mouth right there at Summer and Graham. Now, we've been talking college football, Tigers, Grizzlies. Oh, my. The pain with college football, what we saw this week is, like, again, I don't know if you understand how excited I was for the games.
Was your face painted and chest painted, shirt off, and all that good
Nah,
jazz?
dog. I ain't. Listen, man. I am now.
You have the big
I'm gonna
T on
send
your
you-
chest?
Hey, I'll send you a picture right now of me.
I can see you bearing the cold
I was
out
gonna
there with
say,
the guys.
shockingly, most people would never imagine. I sent this to a couple of my Ole Miss fans and friends, and they were like, vomit.
Face painted Johnny, all orange and white in the horseshoe would be priceless.
I will not paint my face. Now, sadly, when I was young, me and we used to go to all the Titans games. I mean, when we'd go up to Nashville, it gave us an excuse to party like rock stars and go to football games, paint our chest, get drunk.
You one of the guys that
all
paint
get
the
out.
letters on?
Oh yeah, we
where
did
you
all
where you
that.
where you get together and the word spelled Titan and all that.
And when they were at home playing the Ravens in the playoffs games, when Ray Lewis ripped the ball out of Eddie George's hands when he came across the middle, McNair hits Eddie George in stride, and Ray Lewis just yanks that joint. Baltimore beats them. It was so cold, and we were young and so stupid that no, we did not have shirts on and had paint all over us. But that's called being young and stupid. I saw a guy in Buffalo. It was like 8 degrees, man. They had a whole section of dudes with no shirts. Why?
You see him last? Yeah.
Why do we do things like that when we're young?
It's the alcohol, John.
I make much better decisions when I'm drinking Tito's.
The alcohol, John.
Trust me, man. I drink Tito's because it's the best spirit around. It's the holiday season. If you want the best, if you want to enjoy your family, make sure you get the best. That's Tito's handmade vodka, crafted and distilled in the United States, down in Austin, Texas, 6 times distilled and stilled in classic copper pots. It is unbelievable, lightly sweet with a black pepper note. It just balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. And it is 100% gluten-free, made from corn, Tito beverage. He made a bad, bad boy. There's no frills. There's no flavors. There's no fancy labels. It's just the good stuff, the juice. Tito's handmade vodka. Now, NFL. Wow. What do we think about Michael Penix's first start?
It was what you thought. 200 or so yards, an interception against the Giants. He didn't lose the game.
I mean, but like for some reason, it looked like the whole Falcons team was just better defensively, offensively. Now we can sit there and say, John, it was the Giants. Well, damn it, I don't know if you know this. Just the week before, it was Kirk Cousins who could only throw one touchdown pass. They barely beat the Raiders 15-9. And before that, they lost 4 straight games, got whooped by the Vikings by 21 points, got hit in the face by the Chargers. Broncos slapped them by 32. They only scored 6 points in that game. Saints beat them. Like, they looked lost. Now, I know, again, saying it's the Giants who now, with the Raiders win, I think they're in line for the number 1 overall pick, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah. But the Giants are terrible. But my goodness, man, at least you're alive. And you know what happened for the Atlanta? Like, Atlanta, I think, had one of the best weekends in the National Football League. This team, I thought, was just going out of control, going nowhere. And again, Penix wasn't like, I mean, this is his first start.
It was what you expected.
He threw an interception.
He gave the ball a lot to Bijan.
Well, damn it, give the ball to Bijan. See what good things that can happen.
And your draft order right now, Giants 1, Patriots 2, Jaguars 3, Browns 5. Raiders fall all the way down to 6. They had that 2 spot, but
yeah, dude,
shame on them.
They need a quarterback. But man, it's just the Atlanta Falcons. Just, I don't know, team looked better. Is it because they just didn't believe in Kirk Cousins anymore? Because man, like right now, again, when you got a quarterback out there who looks like he has the yips and seeing ghosts and doesn't have confidence in where he's throwing
Spreads
the ball.
through the team.
I mean, it spreads through the team. He had 9 interceptions in that 4-game losing stretch to 1 touchdown. That's terrible. Terrible.
And that definitely spreads through the team. You're right.
And then last night, guess what we saw also? It was a great night for Atlanta Falcons. Why? Dallas Cowboys showed up and whipped that tail, man.
Look, Cooper Rush action.
Dude, Cooper looked.
Cooper Rush
like
action.
CeeDee Lamb's got just big, gigantic brass ones. Big contract. He's got his contract. A lot of people would have taken it off. He's dealing with a very, very injured shoulder. Still went out there and balled, constantly on the sideline in pain. Then would come back in on a big 3rd down and just bury.
He got to the 1-yard line and it cost me money. He should have scored. That was my parlay. Like literally, and he never snuffed the end zone. He didn't get close again. He was 1 yard away, and I was hollering and
hooping and hollering. They caught him at touchdown at first, didn't they?
They called it a touchdown at first. The replay immediately showed his knee down right there at like the 1 yard line. I think that was David that tackled him or whatnot. But I really, I'm not even the Cowboys. I wanted him to get in so bad. That was my parlay, and he never came close again. And then Zeke scored.
Oh, I know.
Then Zeke gets a 1 yard.
In there. They got Rico all day long. Now, Rico's too small to be running down there for trying to get 6 inches. Like, I don't know if he can give you 6 inches.
I'm gonna clip that for you. Rico.
Uncle Rico. But, Tampa loses. And Tampa Bay has been humming. That offense has looked like Mike Evans still, amazing.
Dude, did you see that stat? Like the 1,000
yards. Did you see
yards?
that first catch though?
Oh yeah,
that ball was by him, and somehow I don't even understand that dude.
He's only in the class with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss for most 1,000-yard seasons.
I mean, Mike.
Texas A&M, baby.
Texas A&M. Mike Evans, Johnny Manziel. That was a good little damn team, wasn't it?
What was my other man on the other side?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh golly.
Anyway, point is, Cowboys.
Dat and win.
Cowboys came out there and won 26-24. It was a shootout in the first half, okay? I had under 51 and a half. I took it early in the second quarter. Once they hit 17 points, it went from 47 and a half up to 51 and a half.
It stopped at 49 first because I got the 49, but yeah, it kept going.
Yeah, it was 49, so I went
took
past that.
stupidly.
Once it went to 51 and a half, that's when I jumped on it.
And you cashed in, baby.
Hey, I did cash in. Let me tell you something. I felt so good. So good for just a moment. And then that was about the most stressful second half. And there was only 13 points scored. I could only give up 14. That's all I could give up. They scored 37 points in the first half. The very end of the second quarter, did you see that?
Yep.
Did you see I was feeling good. I got it when it was I think it was I can't even remember, like 7-10 or something.
It's strange. The number fell right on 50.
And it fell right on 50, but you had a stretch where out of nowhere, like, I mean, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good. It's 7-13 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds in the quarter. That dude Aubrey banged another 50-yard field goal. You know how he is. That kid can kick. I mean, he's not missed a 50-plus field goal this year. He's made a 60.
He's your new Tucker, Justin Tucker.
So, I mean, it was 7. It was 7 Tampa Bay, 10 Dallas. You know, Dallas goes on, a little, with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. So it's Tampa Bay scored with 3:15. It was 10-0. Now it's a little bit of a ball game. Tampa Bay 7, Dallas 10. 3:15. 1 minute later, it's 13-7. Dallas kicks a field goal. You think this bad boy's over, right? Like, you're looking at the bottom of the thing. Man, they went touchdown, field goal, the final 3 possessions of the game. I'm going, what? They just scored 17 points on my face here at the end of the game? I'm freaking out. I'm like, I got no chance. And you have to understand, I needed to make a comeback because the Tennessee whiskey had me all on Tennessee. And that was my comeback. And I'm like, damn. Well, I'll tell Chas in the new year. We're going to enjoy the holidays. And somehow in the second half, I pulled that one out, and I still don't even know how. Defense. Crazy things like when Dallas came out in that first half of the drives all the way, looks like they're going to go and score a touchdown. No, it was Baker Mayfield. It was Tampa Bay. It looks like they're going to go score a touchdown. And then all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield fumbles the football. And I'm like damn mad because I think Dallas recovered it. And on the opening drive where Tampa Bay methodically moved right down the field, all of a sudden they're definitely in field goal range. They're on the 20-yard line. They ended up facing a 4th and 40. Defense, baby.
Hey, how about that strip at the end of the game when
Oh.
Mayfield pitches the ball. I think that was to Irvin. I think that was Irvin.
Bucky.
And then Deron Bland, I think, stripped it away.
Just pulled
and
that
would have messed her over because he was down.
He was.
They called him down.
He would have been on the end zone.
He would have been in
the end zone. Yeah. That's another play. There was so many miracles that happened
that was a miracle.
Last night for me to get that under. I don't think people understand. It was one of those. I watched that game with a very upset stomach. And then at the end of it, there were like 3 plays in that game where I was freaking. I'm like, no way. No freaking way. NFL, we've been talking about it. Now we got to switch gears, man. We're about to do a little bit of Hardwood where it feels so good on the other side. Also got to talk about a little Ricky Henderson, man.
Shout out to Ricky. I hadn't heard enough of Ricky.
Man, I'm gonna.
I have not heard enough of Ricky.
I am talking about Ricky.
Thank you, someone.
On the other side, because you have no idea how great. If you didn't see Ricky Henderson play baseball, and if you didn't know his personality, like when he broke the all-time steals list, they came over to him. They paused the game. They come up to Ricky Henderson. They put a mic in front of his face. He picks the third base up, puts it over his head, and he says, I am the greatest. That's it, baby. And he is great. We're going to talk about him. Rest in peace, Ricky Henderson. But we're going to be back in just a second, so don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off meal drinks, $4.50 for house wine, mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and more. Friday night lights from 7 to closing. Dine in and buy grill Wednesday, 5 free. Watch After the season, holiday stores, directions and finance details at GenesisDiamonds.com. Genesis Diamonds, luxury pre-owned lenses. Contract markets extended. See store for details.
Sometimes you just want to make fast, like the fun that comes from a quick and nimble 2024 Honda Civic 500F. This amazing style streetlights with a narrow 471cc twin, along with sleek TFT display, dual disc brakes, and standard ABS, all at affordable price. Find phone all-weather Lexus 2024 Honda Civic 500F, available at DeSoto Honda, 5656 Golden Road in Olive Branch.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roofing. I have been told that my ads are all business and I should share some of my personality. Okay, I love tongue twisters, like the one about the terrific tasting toast by Taste Tester Toaster, or Big Black Bugs, Bleed Blue Blood, and of course Sally and her seashells. Or of course the ever-present I'm a Mother Pheasant Plucker, I pluck Mother Pheasants. Okay, enough of that. If you want an honest, fair, reasonable roofing, siding, or gutter estimate, call Five Ash Roofing at 367-0050. That's exactly what you'll get. No empty promises, no high-pressure sales tactics, and no fast-talking salesman trying to convince you that today and only today is the best day for you to get a new roof. For the record, the best day to get a new roof is when you're ready for one. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for the lunch specials Monday through Friday 11 to 2. Ask about the world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with the grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes, Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
God for giving me that opportunity. I want to thank the Haas family, the Oakland organization, the city of Oakland, and all y'all beautiful fans for supporting me. First of all, I would like to thank my mom, my family.
I love that one. Also, the one I like is when he stole base 939 to pass Lou Brock. Today, I'm the greatest of all time. That's Ricky Henderson, man. Rest in peace, Ricky. I don't think people realize how great Ricky Henderson was. It's like, if you didn't see it. Golly, I really don't think people even have a clue.
Not at all, but I think I got the piece you were waiting for. Here it is.
Still, but today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Seriously, rest in peace, Ricky Henderson, man. Dude was, he was something to watch. Like, I mean, I don't think, like, have you looked at his numbers? Like, do you realize how ridiculous his numbers are? They are on a level that is just, like, there's really nobody you can compare him to. I want you to think about this. He's a Hall of Famer, of course, obviously. He's a 300 club hitter. He's a 10-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, 1990 AL MVP. Career leaders in stolen bases, runs scored. Nobody in history scored more runs or stole more bases than Ricky. And think about how many he's stolen. You could steal 60 bases for 22 straight seasons, and you still wouldn't be able to pass the GOAT. My man is ridiculous. 3,055 hits, 297 home runs, 280 career batting average, 2,295 runs scored, and 1,406 stolen bases. 1,406 stolen bases. Did you know he's the only person in history to score, to first of all, steal 1,000 bases? That's right. Nobody else in history has 1,000 steals other than Ricky bleeping Henderson.
Got you a caller about Ricky Henderson. It's a great story.
All right, I'm going to bring him on in 2 seconds. Just one other thing I just wanted to say about before I bring on this caller to talk about Run, Ricky, Run, Ricky, Run is, again...
That was his 30 for 30, wasn't it? Run, Ricky, Run.
Yeah, it was. Lou Brock, 938 stolen bases is second. Almost 500 difference. Billy Hamilton, most recent player, 912. Ty Cobb, 892. Oh, my boy Tim Raines, man. Rock, 808. Nobody else is even an 800 club. And the other thing that's kind of wild, though, seeing that a lot of people don't remember this if you just remember the steroid era with Barry Bonds. Do you know my boy Barry has over 500 steals?
Yeah, most of those came in Pittsburgh.
514. Baby. Barry Bonds is 34th on the list, on the all-time steals list. And if you're 34th, again, 509, Ricky has 900 more stolen bases than a one top history of the Major League Baseball. Like, Ricky was just different. He was a lot of fun. Got a lot of great memories. Todd's called in on the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Before I bring on Todd, though, make me laugh, send me something funny, or just beg. Say you need the tickets to the Liberty Bowl if you want to go watch.
I think he's going to make you laugh with this one.
Okay. Hey, Todd, maybe you want it, man. What's up, Todd?
What's going on, John? Glad you made it back from Columbus. All right,
man. Me too, brother.
Me too. But anyway, you were talking about Ricky Henderson, man. You may remember this on ESPN one time for, I think, Dave Winfield or somebody. But they said that, Ricky used to be self-absorbed back in the days, man. Always talking in third person. Ricky can do this, Ricky can do that. And so they said one time, when they were teammates at New York Yankees, he and this first baseman, I know you remember him, John Olerud.
Oh, yes. Wore the helmet, man, on first base.
Okay, Olerud wore a hard helmet in the field. So Ricky they were in the dugout one day, and when they were teammates in New York Yankees, he said, oh, yeah, man, Ricky was teammates with this guy in Minnesota that wore a hard hat just like you do, man. And Olerud looked at Ricky and said, yeah, Ricky, we were also teammates in Toronto as well. So he had been teammates with the guy about 3 times. Ricky didn't even know who the hell he was, man.
Oh, my God, that's a great story, Todd. I really appreciate that, man. That is Ricky Henderson at his best, though. I mean, I love the way he talked about himself in third person. Thank you, Todd. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. That is Todd. Thank you, Todd. But, man, that is hilarious. That's a great John Olerud story. Man, I'm trying to remember the funny story back in the day. Do you remember Mike and Mike, Mike Greenberg and Mike Golick?
Absolutely, dude.
Man, I don't know why. I guess probably because I just got back from Columbus and my brain's fried. But there was a story one day when I was listening to them, and they were telling a Ricky Henderson story. Man, I'm going to have to look this thing up a little bit later. And it just kind of it just cracks you up. Just Ricky being Ricky. He was different, but rest in peace, Ricky. Man. That was one hell of a baseball player. And just a very self-absorbed, funny SOB. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, you either loved Ricky or you just were befuddled and confused. They're like, this dude being a little narcissist for Ricky worked, didn't it?
It was the Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield kind of quality. Either you loved him or hate him.
Yeah, you did. But nobody had more confidence in himself. And when you're playing baseball, it's a game of failure. You have to believe in yourself. And I don't think at any point in Ricky's career, even at the very end, did Ricky not think he was going to get it done. He was He's definitely a different breed. By the way, we're just doing a little talking. I don't need to go like with the music to Hardwood, tell you a little bit of funny stories, some of the stuff that's going on. But I do need to
I got it ready for you, baby.
Oh, you do? Man, you're so good. Well, I need to thank Rick's Powder Coating. They give you a little bit of hardened wood. They also give you the best finish every time. Powder coating, don't paint it. If it's metal, powder coat it. I'm telling you, it lasts and lasts and lasts. It's beautiful. You got, like how I got some, what is it? You're like the little outdoor furniture stuff, like, the table that's made out of metal, and you got the chairs that are metal, and they're all really, really nice iron.
Backyard
whatever the hell.
accessories.
Yeah, and you got like the little patio flaggy thing. Or
Patio set, John.
What is that joint? Like where you open it up, the umbrella.
The umbrella.
Man, my brain is roasted. I can talk sports, but I can't think abstractly right now or grab things that they're right there at the touch. I just can't grab a hold of the words right now. Not a lot of sleeping, a lot of fun, and tons of drinking, and a little this and a little that. But then, see, I told you, I just forgot what I was talking about.
You're on Rick's Powder Coating, my good friend.
Rick's Powder Coating. Those patio sets. You know what I'm saying? Like, after like 20 years, that paint's all chipped off. It's like rusted, don't look right. You know what I'm saying? Just, you're like, damn, man, now I'm going to have to go buy something. No, you're not. You take that set out to Rick's Powder Coating. You let them powder coat it, it's going to come back looking better than it ever did in its life. Automotive, ornamental, you name it. If it's iron, if it's metal, they got you covered. Rick's Powder Coating. Don't paint it, powder coat it. Go to rickspowdercoating.com. Trying to give away some tickets to the Liberty Bowl. Anybody want to go to Liberty Bowl? I got a 4-pack. You're going to have to make me laugh now. Just send me, yo, I want them tickets. 901-360-8255. If you want the Liberty Bowl tickets, Arkansas is playing. Texas Tech's playing. Check them out. Let me know. Got a text on the texter line. I said, when Ricky Henderson was here in Memphis for our Redbirds games, my 8-year-old brother was with me. I told him to try and get his signature. Tell Ricky you're the best. He did. Ricky turned around and said, I know, and walked away. Thank you, Shane. Ricky, you're the best. Turn around. I know. Damn, I love that guy. Now, I would have.
I found that Mike and Mike for you, too.
Oh, you did?
I'm cold, man.
Man, you are so cold, man. I can't remember what the story was, but you about to remind me. This is Mike and Mike talking about Ricky Henderson from the past.
You say, Richard Pryor or Luther Vandross, what do they say?
But usually they have a list.
They
have a list on it. So the list is have our name on it. So we go. They give us the keys under our name.
Oh, okay.
So your name would be Luther Vandross?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Works for me.
Okay.
Is this a true story? In the early 1980s, the Oakland A's accounting department was freaking out because their books were off by $1 million. After an investigation, they realized the GM had given you a $1 million bonus check, and instead of cashing it, you framed it and hung it on the wall in your house.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude said he was always going to be a millionaire. It goes on a little bit, and he's like, yeah, man, I always told people I was going to be a millionaire, so once I got my first $1 million check, he's like, yeah, I hung it up. I put it on my wall. It's still on my wall. He said, but you know what? The accounting department said, hey, Ricky, can we give you one that you won't cash, but we don't count? It's going to be a different one. It's not going to be signed. It's not something you can turn in, but it's going to look just like the check you have to put on your wall and cash this check. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can do that. But make sure he even gave it to the accounting department and said that he wanted them to put the new one in his frame.
Ricky was nuts, man.
Ricky was awesome. It just, oh, man. R.I.P. Ricky Henderson.
I'm glad you gave him his flowers, dude. I did not hear enough Ricky
I was so sad
in the
Saturday.
Mid-South. Like all my sports pundits, I have not heard enough Ricky, man. Like J Ham gave him a lot of shout outs on the Facebook, but yeah.
I mean,
not a lot of Ricky there.
Like, I know that this is, and again, and I'm thinking about Ricky Henderson's career, and we're talking about Ricky, and you really think about him. And I will say, like, overall, he might be one of the top 10 greatest overall players of all time. He hit for average. He hit for power. He stole more bases. He played great defense. His eye was phenomenal.
Those 5'2",
He
John.
scared the hell out of pitchers. Made it so much easier for his team. I mean, my man was a scoring machine. And he didn't have to bop the ball out of the ballpark. All Ricky had to do was get on base, and the next thing you know, his butt's standing on third. I also had mad respect. I loved, he came on, God, I wish I could remember the show. And I was listening to him to talk about, they asked him, like, what is it you look for in, like stealing bases? And like, he came out at first, what was he said, he's like, well, Ricky be fastest man, period.
Ricky.
And they were like, well, elaborate. Like, what are you watching? He's like, oh, when I'm getting ready to steal, I know what I'm going to steal. Because, a lot of people talk about how you watch the back right foot for a right-handed pitcher. And the knee. If it goes down, he's leaning back. That means he's going to go forward. If the heel pops up, that means he's about to do a pop move and come over to first base. If the heel goes up, back. If the heel stays down, go. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just like one of the very simple ways. He brought up and said that a lot of people taught him that way. He said what he learned, though, the most is if I watch the left elbow of a right-handed pitcher. He said before they even, step down, I'm not looking for him to pick up and already come get me. But if that left elbow moves just a hair to the right, I know he's going to the plate. And it gave me a split second faster than watching a heel, because the heel, by the time, if you're watching the heel in the back of the knee, he said that elbow is already moved almost over in equal with the right shoulder. They're already coming back. And he said, you're a split second behind.
And cheat code, if that elbow stops moving, that's a balk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually ahead of the game.
No, you can't go like this and then come around and open up and go to first. No. And again, I always, it was that back right leg for a right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher is totally different. You can tell if the foot crosses over when he picks his up, he's going to go home. Once it starts opening up, if he comes straight up and straight forward, like left-handed pitchers, you either got a great move or you don't. But man, Ricky was just on a level, and the way he saw the game and the speed that he had. And again, the dude was a gamer. Like, this is an era where dude showed up to play every damn day. Like, Ricky was ridiculous. Hell, Dave Stewart, he said some just phenomenal things about Ricky.
Did you know Ricky still leads the major leagues in leadoff home runs?
Yes, I did.
So he's at 81. Next is George Springer at 60. And for his active players, behind George Springer is Betts, I believe. Mookie's at 52. Mookie's at 52.
Damn, Mookie.
So Mookie's at 5 all time. Craig Biggio at 4 at 53. Alfonso Soriano at 54. No one's catching him.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess Mookie could give you 30 more leadoff home runs, but I mean, he's probably on the downside of his career, right?
I mean, right now, Mookie's fine, but I don't think he's going to catch.
You don't get 30 more leadoffs?
No.
And I know George Springer's not giving you 20 more.
No, I mean, ever since George Springer left Houston, he doesn't even look like the same George Springer.
That record's safe.
Oh, my. I'm late for a break. As usual.
No, we love baseball, Johnny. So
I mean, I just like.
We love baseball.
And
Johnny.
I just like also gushing over somebody that I just, like when I, because I haven't thought about Ricky in a while. Ronald Acuna, when I saw his MVP season, I did think about, little Ricky Henderson. The funniest thing is somebody said the other day to me, they're like, man, how many stolen bases Ronald Acuna? I don't think, dude don't have 200, I don't think. I mean, he's been injured 2 out of the last 3 years. And he's a young buck. Is he going to steal a lot of bases? Yes. But again, you could steal 60 bases for 22 straight years, and you still short of Ricky. I'm short on time, so I'm going to take a quick break. Back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Top Gun is the largest indoor range in the Mid-South. Its size isn't the only difference. Top Gun has the best instructors with over 300 years combined experience and classes all the way from first shot to master marksmanship. Plus, Top Gun is affordable. Total membership is just $48 a month. That's just $1.60 a day for a limited range time. Free gun rentals with purchase of ammo and members lounge access. Top Gun, 2770 Whitten Road and TopGunMemphis.com. Always ship with the best. Top Gun Memphis.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick
Responsible. Make good decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came in maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards. Thanks to bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
You should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types and up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happens lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news. I went to billshappen.com and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
How? That is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
Hey, Mid-South, it's the season of new tradition sales event at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And Bobby J's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Save big in 2025 Kia K4 LXS. $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. Plus spacious 8-seater SUV 2025 Telluride S. Only $368 a month, $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And don't forget about 2024 EV9 with 0% APR for 72 months. Plus, get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J and let him put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Acquisition fee $20,000 per year. K4 SEO2 9100 MSRP 24230. Telluride SG5 96529 MSRP 41260. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. Must finance through KFA dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 1/2/25 with approved credit.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not point the finger saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. I mean, we got a little kick down. December 27th is the Liberty Bowl. A little Arkansas action, a little Texas Tech. We do have a winner for those tickets. Two winners. One hasn't sent me his name back yet. Oh, Kevin did. Kevin Argo. My man, Kevin is a winner, and also John Jonas. And by the way, John was going to win. He came in first, by the way, but like when he says, and thank you for everything you do on your show.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
damn it, he's got some tickets.
He's our favorite now.
I love this guy. Hey, John, man, thank you. Kevin, Argo, John Jonas, thank you all very, very, very much. Have fun at the Liberty Bowl. Everybody out there, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Darian Newsom, Bryant Dacus.
Me and my man
gonna be
Dacus.
filling in for me. But I'll be back the day after Christmas.
Hey, we actually start the shenanigans later. Dacus and I are hosting Sports Time.
Oh, today?
Yep, we'll have Landon on this in here, and
You
we'll rock
and,
out.
you and
Me and
Dacus
Dacus.
over here.
3:00, baby.
See, they separate us, man. I don't know if you know this. It's because nobody can sit in the studio with me, though, because, like, I have this thing rolling a cloud. I'm just kidding. Oh, my God. I hope everybody has a wonderful time. We'll be talking a little bit of when I get back after the holidays, we're jumping deep back into the college football playoff. We'll have some more Grizzlies games under our belt, Tigers, Ole Miss. We got so much to get to, but until then, be blessed. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy. Get out there, make the world a better place. See y'all on the flip side. Peace.